through it, bit by bit, with relentless determination. Don't wait for a day without resistance. Become the person resistance cannot break. The more you act despite it, the closer you move toward real freedom, the kind that liberates you from the very barriers your own mind has created. And one day, as you look back on your journey, you may not remember every small victory, but you will remember that you never stopped. That will be the moment you realize you didn't just defeat resistance, you defeated your former self and rose into someone stronger. When people witness someone achieving remarkable success, they often ask, "What's your secret?" They talk about habits, about systems, about the small, repetitive things they do every day, often boring, often unnoticed, but quietly responsible for lifting them to the top. If you want to change your life, don't start with grand plans or lofty goals. Start with a small action repeated daily until it becomes second nature. When you build the right habits, you no longer need to fight yourself every day. You simply move in rhythm. Habits are choices you once made, but have since programmed into instinct. You don't need to think about brushing your teeth every morning. You don't have to consciously decide to fasten your seatbelt. And if you build the right habits, your progress will become just as natural. But here's something you must understand. Willpower alone is not enough. Willpower is the fuel to get started, but systems are the tracks that keep you on course. This is where you need to design a solid system of action, a system that doesn't depend on emotion or motivation, but operates as a personal commitment. It's this simple. Want to read more? Your system is reading 10 pages each morning before checking your phone. Want to write a book? Your system is writing for 30 minutes every day at a fixed time. I'm not asking if you're motivated. I'm asking, what system have you set up to protect what you're pursuing? Someone without a system, no matter how strong their start, is likely to fall off track within days. But someone with a system, even if they move slowly, always returns to the rhythm. And that's who ultimately wins. You may think a system will confine you, but the truth is a system gives you freedom. When you no longer need to make a decision each day, you conserve willpower and energy for more important matters. A system turns things I should do into things that simply happen. And you stop wrestling with yourself every time resistance shows up. A writer doesn't always feel inspired, but if they write at the same hour each day, the manuscript gets done. An athlete doesn't always feel energized, but if they train according to a consistent schedule, they maintain their form. Stability comes from systems, not from fleeting inspiration. So how do you build a system that works for you? First, start simple. Don't try to build 5 or 10 new habits at once. Choose one thing and make it an essential part of your daily routine. Once it becomes automatic, add the next layer. Second, attach the new habit to an existing one. For example, after I make my morning coffee, I'll write 3 ideas in my notebook. This is called habit stacking. Your brain begins to accept this as a sequence, and you no longer need effort to remember or force yourself to do it. Third, design your system to be fail-proof. If you want to run, but the weather often derails you, have a backup plan. Indoor workouts, jump rope, or quick body weight exercises. Don't let predictable obstacles break your rhythm. Fourth, always track your progress. A marked-up calendar, a habit tracking app, or a simple journal noting your efforts. All of these keep your motivation alive. When you see your streak building, you won't want to break it. And finally, never underestimate the power of repetition. At first, you have to remind yourself constantly. After a month, it becomes easier. After 3 months, you'll feel something's missing if you skip it. After a year, people will ask, "How do you stay so consistent?" And your answer won't be, "I have strong willpower," or "I'm extremely disciplined." Your answer will be, "I have a system. I have habits." Systems don't just help you maintain. They help you grow beyond expectations. When you no longer waste energy on starting, you can invest all your focus into evolving. Every day, you only need to do one thing well, but do it right, consistently, and without interruption, and you'll be amazed when you look back at the road you've covered. My friend, You don't need superpowers to change your life. You only need to understand that success doesn't come from one heroic act. It comes from thousands of small, repeated actions no one else sees. And those actions are habits. Those habits are nurtured and protected by systems. And systems, quiet but unwavering, are the pathway to any peak you choose to climb. I want you to picture this. You're standing on a long road with tempting turnoffs on either side. One path invites you to rest, another encourages you to quit. And the only road that leads to success has no flashy signs, no cheering crowd, and no immediate rewards. It only offers one thing: relentless repetition, day after day. I'm telling you this because somewhere inside you there was a moment when you gave up on a goal left unfinished, a dream never reached, a once exciting plan now covered in dust. But here's what you need to know. You're not lacking in ability. You're lacking belief in continuation. And today I want to help you reclaim that, because the person who never gives up isn't the strongest, isn't the smartest, it's the one who endures. The person who never gives up understands that success is the reward for persistence, not perfection. They don't wait to feel ready. They don't wait for inspiration. They don't wait to have all the answers. They simply continue. And one day they surpass everyone who started faster, who seemed more talented, who once looked more promising. If you want to become that person, you must change how you face adversity. Most people, when challenges arise, retreat and wait for things to get easier. But those who endure keep moving forward. Despite fear, fatigue, or a lack of motivation, they understand one simple truth: the only way out is through. Quitting brings temporary comfort but leaves long-term scars. Regret from not holding on will quietly haunt you. Every time you see someone succeed at what you once began, on the other hand, every time you choose to continue, even by a single step, you build inner resilience. You're proving to yourself, I am someone who follows through. So how do you cultivate the spirit of never giving up? First, eliminate the mindset of, I'll just try and see. When you say try, you've already allowed yourself the option to quit. People who never give up don't try, they commit. They declare to themselves, I will do this no matter what happens. Second, accept that boredom and difficulty are part of the journey. There will be days when you feel like doing nothing, days when progress seems invisible. But those are the moments when consistency matters most, because it's in those moments that character is forged. Successful people aren't always motivated, they just do the work regardless of how they feel. And by continuing to act, they gradually regain momentum and turn it into powerful growth. Third, learn to stay connected to the process rather than obsessing over the result. When all you see is the finish line, you'll easily grow discouraged if results don't show. But if you learn to appreciate the journey, every small step, every quiet effort, you won't need a reason to keep going. The act itself, the progress itself becomes the reward. Those who never give up also know how to actively replenish their energy. They rest when needed, but they never abandon the path. They give themselves space to recover, not to surrender. They understand. Rest is not failure. It's part of the strategy of persistence. And most importantly, they build a new identity. Don't just say, I'll try not to quit. Say, I am the kind of person who never quits. From there, all your behaviors begin to align with that identity. You start to act like someone who is resilient. And with each consistent action, each day, your belief in yourself becomes unshakable. Remember, you don't need to win every day, but you do need to show up every day. You don't need to always move fast, but you do need to move forward just a little, every time, without stopping. The person who never gives up is the one who tries again the 100th time without bitterness over the 99 that failed. They are not broken by failure. They are strengthened by it. They don't see mistakes as the end, but as the raw material of growth. You can be that person, truly. You don't need more talent. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to keep going.